Welcome to a guidance video from Fife Professional Learning about the Fife Writing Assessment Resource Pack. Our collective experiences of COVID-19 have presented many challenges in relation to our children and young people's progress in writing. And so the purpose of this guidance video is to highlight new resources we have in Fife to support practitioners to develop effective approaches to assessment as we continue to face these challenges head on and ensure we continue improving outcomes for our learners in school. As we're all aware, assessment is integral to planning, learning and teaching. While a variety of assessment frameworks can be used, one of the big challenges we face as an authority is the inconsistencies that exist between these. With some schools using the national benchmarks, others the Big Right, some buying in other commercial resources or using other local authority documentation, to schools who are spending development time creating their own versions, we can see the issue we have in trying to achieve truly effective assessment and moderation practices across Fife. This video will outline the materials included within the Fife Writing Assessment Resource Pack, which have been recently developed to address this. There are many different text types we will encounter in life, and while they all involve writing, each has its own unique purpose and features. Our children and young people should experience a balance of different text types, taking account of the three main purposes for writing: to inform, to entertain, and to persuade. In Fife, we have created text type assessments to support effective learning, teaching and assessment of each of the 9 different types. Education Scotland outlined that the 2 key resources to support teachers to plan learning, teaching and assessment are the experiences and outcomes and the national benchmarks. As such, the Fife text type assessments have been developed in line with the experiences and outcomes for literacy and English and the national benchmarks, and are further informed by a range of resources, most prominently the text type progressions developed by Stephen Graham, which provide greater detail and clarity around the key characteristics for each text type at each Curriculum for Excellence level. For each text type, a clear definition is provided to ensure a shared understanding of its purpose. Key considerations for assessment are then listed to provide guidance for practitioners around what will likely be included in a high-quality sample of writing. Links to the relevant experiences and outcomes have been included to ensure that these are appropriately bundled and assessments consider a range of knowledge and skills. The assessments are then clearly broken down into the appropriate literacy curriculum organisers, creating written texts, tools for writing phonology, and finding, using and organising information. Criteria for each organiser provides further detail to support practitioners to focus on specific aspects of writing. These will contribute to how learners effectively demonstrate clear and consistent evidence of the national benchmarks, which have been emboldened for ease of identification. The benchmarks are the clear statements about what our learners need to know and be able to do to achieve a level. Judgments about progress towards or achievement of a level should be made using the benchmarks only, and this resource is intended to support professional dialogue and effective moderation practices between colleagues as part of this process. Decisions about achievement of a level will be based on various samples of evidence and overall professional judgment. These text type assessments are not intended to be used as a tick box approach, as it's not essential that every single aspect of the criteria be demonstrated. Education Scotland state that we should interpret assessment in ways which ensure no major gaps in children and young people's learning. As such, these are designed to provide a consistent framework within Fife and should in no way be considered as limiting to either teacher autonomy or learner creativity. Our children and young people should be fully involved in the assessment of their learning. High quality feedback and learning conversations ensure that they have a sound knowledge of both their strengths and the areas where they need to improve. Being able to identify successes and areas for improvement helps both learners and teachers develop a greater understanding of progress in relation to overall achievement of a curricular level, and plan the most appropriate next steps that ensure learners continue to move forward in their learning and development. The self and peer assessment placemats have been developed to provide a stimulus for talking about learning and progress. Informed by the national benchmarks and Fife text type assessments, they make clear the expectations for tools for writing and creating written texts at each Curriculum for Excellence level. The key features of a highly effective text should be identified with learners as they engage in varied writing experiences to help them establish clear success criteria. The placemats can then be used to inform self and peer assessment as learners reflect on the evidence demonstrated in their own texts. The placemats can also support teacher judgment about where learners are in the process of meeting the expectations around a highly effective piece of text, and help identify what they specifically need to focus on to continue improving their writing skills. They are intended to support learners with the language necessary to become more specific and detailed in their reflections, so may be best used as part of a plenary, during learning conversations, or to support home learning and parental engagement. Symbolised versions are available from early to third level for learners who may require more visual support to recognise, reflect on and respond to the written statements. Self-assessment criteria grids have also been created for tools for writing at each level. These have been designed to support learners in understanding the expected standards for their level in order to more effectively reflect on their strengths and the areas where they need to improve. These may be useful to have for learners to refer to in a writing jotter or journal, or as a visual prompt or wall display. Spelling words correctly is important in helping us communicate more effectively with others. However, it is not a natural or easy process. Learning the common regularities and patterns of the English language, as well as the many anomalies, is incredibly challenging for our young learners and will develop with high quality teaching, time and experience. This guidance document outlines the key stages of spelling development to ensure that a learner's representations of words are viewed fairly as appropriate to their age and stage, and used as key indicators to inform further spelling instruction, practice and learning. It is intended to support practitioners to more confidently and accurately assess their learners' spelling. We hope you have found this video useful. To help us identify who has engaged with this guidance video, we ask you to share your details through this Microsoft form. If you are viewing this with a wider staff team, please include numbers if this is easier for you. Please also feel free to share any comments, although this is entirely optional. Thank you.